See when the hot seaweed wasn't there yet.
Hello and welcome to Your Dad Learns StarCraft 2. This is a game against a Diamond Protoss by the name of Megafool, and this is actually the game that promotes me to Platinum. So, it's a very, very odd way to get to Platinum, but it is a promotion, so I figure that's worth taking a look. So, in the lower right-hand corner, we have your hero, your champion, your dad playing Zerg the way that I do. And in the upper left-hand corner, we have my Protoss opponent for the match, Megafool. And as you see, he's going to do, I assume, a wall off over here, making a pylon. And I'm doing the standard thing, making a droning up, making a hatchery with the 16th drone. Gonna make a gas with the 17th, right there. And the next drone, this one should make a spawning pool. But here comes his probe. There's my spawning pool. So, he doesn't see anything too important, just, normal start. That's what he sees. Normal 17 gas pool, or 16 gas pool start. I'm going to throw the Overlord over here to see if he placed a proxy pylon. Which turns out he did. He's probably just patrolling his drone around the whole base. And I mismanaged my drones. I meant to collapse him if he came in, but I mismanaged them. So I throw these guys to work over here. Still haven't noticed these two aren't working, get them back. Try and destroy the probe with some zerglings. So at this point, he's making a couple adepts. I'm working on saturation. I have a couple queens out, have some lings out. Make some overlords so I don't get supply blocked. And there's his adept attack. Pulled everything off to kill them. So he's got some decent pressure so far, and I still have this guy in his main. I notice there's nothing in his main, so eventually I should notice and start moving him, which looks like I'm doing, over to the expansion to see what's going on there. And I'm working on my Zergling speed, and it looks like he is building. He's got a couple work gates, robotics facility, cybernetics core, and I've yet to really bother him at all. So I'm going to send out some Zerglings. They're not fastlings yet, but I'm going to send them out. Working on my Roach Warren just went down. Making some more drones, a big batch of them. Making a lair. Working on getting a couple spine crawlers, so some stack defense, and just getting a setup, getting my third base. And I just got Zergling speed. They're hanging out here. But during all of this, he doesn't have really many units. He's got those 2 units in a sentry, and I'm sitting here. And I've noticed this seems to be a bad habit of mine. So there's a third adept. First light they do 22 damage, so they do pretty good against Zerglings. But that's a third one, and I'm still sitting. Just waiting. Building more extractors, some evo chambers, making some roaches. So now he's got an immortal, he's got 5 adepts, and a sentry. So now he's warping in 5 more adepts. So at this point, even if I did attack with these, it's useless. I didn't use any early aggression on that when I could have. I may not have gotten much, but I at least could have done it. So now he's sending out adepts. But I have these roaches here. He pops in. I don't think he's going to actually go back into the base, so I sent the Zerglings down. And I don't really even catch much. They still go up, they just die. I see the immortals. These guys are just kind of scouting ahead for maybe potential bases. I'm still making roaches, because that's what I'm trying to do right now, is just make a bunch of roaches. I think mentioned in a previous video that that's something I practiced was, making roaches. That could be good. If you just get a whole bunch of them, then you can attack. At this point, though, I'm not comfortable with Ravagers, making another defensive spine. They are researching Storm and getting 3 more gateways, a forge, making more adepts. I'm making 10 more roaches, 12 more roaches, getting my armor upgrades. And I actually have my attack upgrade. They don't have attack upgrades yet. So I have my attack upgrades, my speed. I'm actually doing fairly good on that front. I could be spending minerals and stuff better. I should probably have a macro hatch right here so I could be making more. And I decided to head out. Caught Immortal out. And this is a mistake that I make. So we can go back just a little bit to where the fight's coming out. So here's some Zerglings. Here are my roaches heading out. So let's speed it up. They're going across. So they're hanging out there, because I was going to have them attack the 3rd base. Which I do, and then I notice the 3rd base actually has an army. So these guys are going to be going through. And I catch an Immortal, which is great. And I catch a Probe, and for some reason I walk over here towards his army. And towards this 3rd base. And decide I'm going to attack the Probe line. Not the Stalkers, not any of these guys, the Probe line. I put myself in a narrow spot, and I just get stormed. And that's not good. I am making roaches behind this. Got more coming in that just get stormed. But his army doesn't even look as huge anymore. If I just fought, maybe that could have helped. Or what I think I should have done, I'm making level 2 upgrades, Hydralisks Den, because I want Hydralisks versus the Immortals, because Immortals tear through armored units. But what I should have done, when I walked up here, caught that one Immortal, caught the Probe, I should have destroyed all of this. I could have at least destroyed a robotics facility, even with shield battery. Destroyed that, destroyed some stuff over here while he walked his army over. But instead, I walked into his army, and not even in there, I walked up here trying to get economy drones, which on a 3rd base, that's not really going to accomplish much. It's not like I have banelings. And kind of threw that whole potential engagement away, because I could have cleared out a bit of this. Even if I still lost, I could have cleared that out, been building, he'd have to rebuild. But during that, I went for a 4th base. I'm making Hydralisks. I'm halfway through my tier 2 upgrades. I'm making more roaches also. So roaches are coming down, hydras are coming down. Still floating a ton of resources, so I should have had a macro hatch a while ago. Setting up a 4th base. And here comes a whole lot of pain towards me. Let's go back to ×2. Catches an Overlord. Gonna get... Oh, they didn't get my detector? If I see them and try and defend, but I get stormed, and I storm and I walk forward into them. If when he started storming I walked backwards, I could have walked back and defended and waited for the storm to run out. Instead I walked forward and attacked into him so he could keep DPSing me while I was trying to move out of the storm. So that's a bad idea. But luckily, he typed GG and then he surrendered. I have no explanation. I don't know if it was just a smurf someone was using, or... Which probably not, because there was nothing radically amazing that made me feel like, oh man, this person's smurfing like crazy. But I also honestly don't know enough about the game to recognize a smurf. At least not just between like a diamond player and anyone higher than diamond who's smurfing. Like, I couldn't really pick that out, even if I wanted to. But for some reason, they decided to surrender the game, so I guess I just assume maybe this account's rank doesn't mean that much to them. So they surrendered, and as a result, I ended up winning and went up to platinum, which was interesting. I'm now building a macro hatch, by the way, which is way late. Tier 2 is almost finished. So a good thing is from this game that I can take is I upgraded. Alright. I could have upgraded. I could have had Tier 2 already been working on Tier 3 upgrades. I still haven't hit the point where I'm thinking macro hatch. That's the point I need to be at, is 2 or 3 bases and macro hatch. Sometimes I do 2 in macro hatch and then try to expand later. And sometimes I do 3 and then macro hatch. And that's kind of the plan. Just keep that larva production up. But that was this game. I do a lot of... I've noticed over the replays I do a lot of just sitting lings outside of a base, but not using them when they could be aggressive, because that would have helped. I took a really poor engagement where I threw my lings in too early at this undefended base, but his army was right here, so they just walked over and killed my lings, and by the time the lings died, my roaches got here just in time to go and fight their army. If I threw the roaches here as the lings attacked here, he would at least have to split his army to deal with both threats at once, or choose one threat to attack, in which case the other threat may be able to flank or just deal damage to whatever side of the map they're on. Or he'd have to split up his forces, and if he split his forces, I'm pretty sure my roach army could defeat the split that he sent that way, if I attacked them and didn't just run behind and attack drones. But there was good stuff this game. I was expanding. I had been making a steady supply of units. Tried not to get supply blocked, but I'm pretty sure I probably did. Kept thinking about expanding. I didn't scout much. And I tried to be aggressive, but after looking at the replay, I was thinking that I should be aggressive, but I never really did it. The opponent was way more aggressive than me early, just throwing in a couple of depths and stuff, and it kind of threw me off a little bit. So, yeah, all in all, not a completely unexpected game against a diamond player, except for the part where they surrender and I get promoted to platinum. So, that was that promotion game. There's a lot of stuff I could work on, which is a nice thing about a loss, especially against a higher ranked player, is I could see the pockets where I could have done stuff, but I just didn't. So, I hope you enjoyed that little look into how I got to platinum. At least at that point, how I got into platinum. And if you like the content, feel free to hit like on it. If not, dislike button's right down there too. Feel free to post comments, I'll try to look at them. Anything you've been liking or would like to see more of, or any topics you'd like me to go into. And until then, I've been your dad. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you next time.